Hi everybody. I know it's been a minute. It's been I think like 8 months since the last video that I uploaded, which was sort of telling you all about the news with my mum. She was diagnosed with a fatal disease called ALS or MND in the UK. My mum died 3 months ago. April 13th, just a few days before my 30th birthday, and it's taken me 3 months before I could even face the camera or do anything at all. Please bear with me. It's just going to be a really hard video to make and to talk about everything, but for her, I want to tell her story. I want to explain what happened. I want to raise awareness for the thing that took her from me and my family. And you guys have been my family for well over 10 years at this point. You've seen me make videos, serious videos like this about past relationships, breaking up. I even made a video talking about all of my darkest traumas from when I was growing up. I just never thought that I'd have to make this one, ever, to be honest with you. Especially not at my age. But first, I just want to say thank you to everyone from the last video who left such nice, kind comments. And who donated to the fundraiser that I made at the time, which was to help get her specific medication. It was from the US only. It was like $1,500 a month, and then to help me get there and look after her. And I have 4 cats. I have a girlfriend here and an apartment and everything. So and everything that's going on. My life completely changed a year ago. But I just want to say thank you for everyone that did donate to that fundraiser, because you did a lot more than you realize. You gave my mum months of a medication that helped relieve the suffering that she had to go through, and you helped me get back and forward to the UK partially. I mean, I flew back and forward from the time I filmed that video in November. I flew back and forward 14 times from California all the way to England. Sometimes I'd come back here just for 3 nights for things that I may have needed to be here for. One of our cats had a surgery, for example. It was just honestly, a lot of it is a blur, but. And I'd really appreciate, watching this whole video and hearing everything I have to say. This is such a one-off thing that I'm truly devastated. I'm just completely and utterly fucking devastated. And I just never ever thought that anything like this could happen. Secondly, before I go into everything that happened, I just want to say that my mum was fucking legendary. Like, absolutely, truly, 1 in a million, one of a kind. Anyone who knew her through me, through my brother, through my dad, her friends, family, everyone feels exactly the same way. She is joy. Any room that my mum walked into just lit up. She lit up the room, every single room. She'd light it up with joy. She'd bring happiness everywhere she went. And I was saying to my dad recently that I genuinely don't remember a single day in the 29, 30 years that I'm so blessed to have called her my mum. I don't remember a single time, a single day where she was having a bad day. Like, she just put everyone before herself every day, no matter what she may have been going through. I don't even know. I don't remember a single day where she had a bad day. And I hope that says something about her. I couldn't have been blessed with a better mum in my entire existence. I really couldn't. She was just fucking incredible, absolutely amazing. And you know, she is basically, she's the only person in the world that I feel like we're the same person. So it feels like I haven't just lost like my mum, I've lost my best friend. I feel like a piece of me has died because we're the same person, you know? Like, we laugh at the same things, we're fucking night owls. We would have a video phone call every day. She lives in the UK and I live in America, and we would be on FaceTime every day without a doubt for 1-2 hours, sometimes up to fucking 3 hours, like depending on just what was going on. You know, we were so close. We were so close. That's my best friend. And she's been taken from me. And I just want to say, I tried everything, man. We all did. In the end, there was just nothing that we could do. Just nothing that we could do. It was just so cruel, so fucked up. You know, I had to watch her suffer. I was with her the whole time. The last several months, and you know, just trying to be there for her. She was suffering bad, really bad, and I'm gonna be real about it. Just not humane, just suffering. All of her independence just stripped, piece by piece. Her voice, she couldn't talk. She couldn't move a single fucking limb. She just paralyzed and speechless, and just basically left to her body was just left to die, essentially. And a part of me is grateful that it was quick, because it was horrific. It really was deeply horrific what she had to go through. And the craziest thing about all of this is that there's no cure. There's no cure for this shit, for ALS, MND. There's no cure. And, you know, yes, we have research going on and whatnot, but, you know, it just blows my mind. There's just not enough eyes on it or attention, and I really hope that by making this video I can bring some awareness around it, because it can happen to anyone. 90% of cases are sporadic, no reason. You're chosen, that's it. You know, you get it, that's it. So I'm going to tell you the story of what happened from day one forward. And again, I appreciate every single one of you for listening to this and watching this video, because this is the first time I've spoken about it since it happened. So last year, around about March, Mum, her speech started to slur a little bit, right? We all sort of noticed there was a bit of a slur to her speech, and at the same time, I think it was her right hand, just, I think she was saying it was just a bit weak. There's some weakness there, right? And you know, so that's when she went to the doctor, I think in April. Fast forward from April, May, June, July, through several different appointments and getting tests done and everything like that. I thought originally that maybe she had some kind of mini stroke or something, hence the speech mainly. So come July, we get the first official diagnosis. It was July 2nd, 2024, just over a year ago. And I vividly remember that day. I think we were all thinking the same thing. You know, I got the phone call from them to see how it went. I was waiting on the news, hoping that it wasn't that and it was something else. And I remember answering the phone to Mum and Dad, and Mum just broke down. She just completely broke down. It's the first time in my life that I've ever seen her like that. And for the first time in my life, I saw that joy be taken away. And instead I saw fear, and we were all completely filled with fear and denial. You know, what is no, like, this is not, like, no, just no, Like, no, there's been nothing wrong with mum this whole time. Nothing's ever been wrong with mum. How does that make any sense? So from July last year, I pretty much, looking back, I kind of stopped. I 80% kind of stopped making content and immediately dived into excessive research every day, working with ChatGPT, just doing so much research about ALS and MND and my mum's test results and cross-checking them. And they found, with the MRI scans, they found incidentally a small tumor in her brain that was unrelated. It was an incidental finding, but my head went there. I was like, well, surely maybe the tumor's got something to do with it. So for the next sort of July and August, I was just so hyper in denial. I think we all were. And I wasn't happy with the diagnosis. And I everyone I spoke to and looking online at other people's stories, the first thing to do is to go and get a second opinion, right? So I said to them, we had just moved to San Diego at this point, which is known for world-renowned, health stuff, right? Like the best of health research and everything is over here. So I told them to come out to us for 4-6 weeks to the new apartment, and I managed to get her an appointment with a very high up neuromuscular specialist who specializes in ALS, and managed to last minute get this appointment and everything. So they were out here for 6 weeks from September through to October. And man, just from the beginning of that, before getting the second diagnosis, which is what we got, the difference that I saw in my mum from the beginning of that trip to the end, well, let me tell you, at the beginning of the trip, she was walking up and down the stairs out the front of my apartment complex. She was walking, she was kind of holding her arm. At this point, her arm was very weak. She was kind of holding it. And by the end of the 6 weeks, she couldn't. And I could still understand her for the most part with her speech. And by the end of the 6 weeks, she couldn't walk, dude. She had fallen twice out here, had to go to call 911. She had 2 really nasty falls because the brain stops communicating with your muscles. That's what ALS is. And you could barely, at the end of the 6 weeks, she was in a wheelchair, and communicating with her just got so difficult. People didn't understand anything she was saying. She couldn't walk anymore. She had fallen twice. She had cut her entire leg open. She had 41 stitches and sutures on her leg, cut all the way open from one of the falls. And another fall, she sneezed, couldn't hold her weight, fell back, smacked the back of her head on the ground. So at the end of that trip, I remember taking them both to the airport, and she told me, she said on the way to the airport, she said, she's always wanted to try and find somewhere in the world that she loves and to move there. She's never found it, never ever found it. And on that final trip to the airport, she told me this was the place. San Diego was the place that she could happily live here, essentially. She could happily live here, retire here. And that just, I remember dropping them off, and I went and sat back in the car, and I just broke down. I just completely and utterly fucking broke down. And I think that's when reality hit me, that this is real and this is happening. And pretty much from that moment on, I completely stopped working. I mean, I basically did since July, but just stopped everything I was doing, and was trying to process and understand that this could be quick. This could be really, really, really quick. I don't know if she's going to make December. I don't know what's gonna happen. No control. So just quickly, what ALS or MND is: amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or motor neuron disease. Basically, your brain stops. The connections from your brain to your muscles sort of start to cease. They stop. They die off. So, slowly for some or quickly for some, every case is individual. You will become paralyzed head to toe. And eventually it attacks your bulbar region, which is all the muscles sort of up here in your throat, controls your speech, your breathing, respiratory, everything. So eventually it attacks off your respiratory, and then that's the end, essentially. Mum was diagnosed with both limb and bulbar combined, so it was affecting her limbs and her bulbar region from the start simultaneously, and she was given a rapid progression, meaning that this is rapid. It's gonna be quick. So fast forward to November is when I made the last video uploaded on this channel, and this is when I started to ask for help because I wasn't working anymore. You know, I wanted to be at home looking after my mum, but I have all responsibilities here. I have rent, I have all of these things. I have to somehow fly back and forward, which is $1,300 per time. I took 14 flights overall back and forward from November through to April. 14 fucking flights back and forward. It's like 160 hours of airtime. You know, it's just fucking, I don't. And I remember being there in November. So even from October to November, it got so bad so quick that we needed an eye tracking machine for her to communicate with us. We needed a stair lift put into the house. Just before November, we were cutting up all of her food for her to help her eat, because when it attacks your bulbar, it affects your swallowing. So you slowly but surely are unable to eat the food that you used to eat, and eventually you need to get a feeding tube, a gastrostomy put into your stomach, so you can feed the patient liquid food, because they can't eat anymore. That happened to my mum. We had to have an emergency surgery in November. And remember what I said a second ago, they came out to visit us in September and October. This was now November, and we had to rush her into hospital because she was losing so much weight. Bless her, she couldn't eat. November, we also applied for something in England called CHC, which is continued home care, and it's basically it's NHS funded carers that come in 3-4 times a day to help mainly patients with fatal conditions that can no longer use the bathroom, that can't get dressed, that can't do anything anymore. And that's what we needed as quick as the end of November. And these things take time to come to fruition, and it took until the end of January, I think, middle of January, for that care to even begin. And by that point, my mum was bad. It was bad. In January, I was working with the ALS Association here and some charities and foundations to basically, if her breathing would allow it, we had to get breathing tests done for her to bring her back out here for a final bucket list sort of trip. Granted that she is now unable to move, she's in a wheelchair, she's not even eating, she's got a feeding tube, she can't even talk. She has a communication, an eye tracking screen, and things were going well. We planned it for February. Mum plateaued very slightly for a month, and I thought this, for a minute, everything felt okay, just for a minute. And just before we were able to get her out here, things just went downhill so quick, so fucking disgustingly quick. Cruel. Just cruel. And yeah, my only counter to that and the upsetness of it is just how brave she was, how incredible, and how brave, how amazingly brave she was. Brave woman. So just about 4 or 5 days before I was meant to fly back and help bring her back out here, she caught, or we thought she caught an infection. So she was in and out of the hospital sort of twice over that week. The second I got the news, I literally dropped everything and just jumped on a plane, because I was only here. I came because she plateaued. I came back for, the plan was to come back for a week, organize the stuff here, fly back, bring her back out with me, right? And we got the news about 5 days, just a few days before I was meant to fly back, and I just jumped on a flight I think it was the same night or the next day or something. I think it was the same night. Flew back to England, and straight into hospital with her. And it was really that was it really. From there on, it was just downhill. From February, from the beginning of February, she had 2 months left. And I'm sorry if this is about to get a bit more sensitive and a bit more real. At that point, her body started to spasm. She was getting these uncontrollable spasms where her body would seize up and seize back, and then seize up and seize back. And we had several people tell us that it's an infection, yada 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 yada. Had rushed into hospital a few different times, had all of these tests done, and she had no infection. There was no sign of any infection. And it wasn't until a few weeks later, looking back, I realized, shit, this is ALS. This is the disease that is now vigorously attacking her body. Sort of every 2 weeks, it would go like this. Bang, another 2 weeks, bang, another 2 weeks, and just until the point where my mum was in hospice for almost a month. She was in hospice for almost a month. I sat with her every single night. Every night I sat with her. I'd hold her hand, even when she was unresponsive and unconscious. And for those last few weeks there, she was things just got really bad, really quickly. And I've just what I had to witness, my own mum, man, like. She was so sweet and so innocent and just harmless, like not a single bad bone in her body, and just to see her in that condition, just suffering, it's just cruel. It's just so cruel. She couldn't even sleep because her body just kept spasming over and over again, and there was nothing that any of the doctors or anyone could give her to make this shit stop. And before you know it, hospice was involved, putting her on morphine and anti-sickness stuff because she started to throw up, like, just bile and it was I remember that night, it was just me and my brother and my mum that we stayed up watching some stuff together, and it happened out of nowhere. She just started retching and belching, and that's when me and my brother, we knew this is bad. This is really, really bad. And I think Mum knew as well. And within a week, she was on a syringe driver. Hospice was now heavily involved. She was on a syringe driver, which is basically where they connect you to a morphine drip. So you have morphine constantly going in you. You have this end-of-life drugs. It's an anti-sickness drug. And I think it's like a calming agent or something for anxiety and all that kind of stuff. You know, and I just, even throughout the final stages, minus the last 3 weeks because she was fucking unconscious and unresponsive, just before that, I was still able to get a laugh out of her. I was still able to make her laugh and to make her feel loved. And I'm so grateful that I was able to be there for her, for it, and you know, and be strong and be there with her. And that, you know, then that surely led to the final 3 weeks where we moved her downstairs and she was unconscious and unresponsive pretty much the entire time, as her body just slowly died. And it's called transitioning, where someone's actively dying and they're transitioning almost from one world to the next. And I'd sit with her every night. I'd always do the night shift, and I'd sit with her up until 5 a.m, 6 a.m. in the morning, when I'd go and wake my brother and my dad up to do the early morning shift, because she was never left alone, ever. And you know, I'd watch our favorite movies together. I'd talk to her. You know, I spent so much time with her in those moments. I'd just sit and hold her hand for hours. You know, and I don't know why, but I was just able to just be there for her. And she just didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. She hung around for a while. I'm sure there's people here that have lost their own mum or dad or someone close to them, or if they've dealt with someone or a grandparent in hospice, you may know what happens at the end with the death rattle. You know, your body shuts down and fluid starts to build up in your lungs, and when you hear her breathing, you hear this rattling noise, and it's fluid. It sounds like they're drowning. And I think I read somewhere like the average, let me find it, the average time someone has that death rattle for before death is 16 hours. My mum went 144 hours. She went 144 hours. And yeah, I'm just getting some flashbacks of everything, even just before then. You know, there's bad moments. The screams of terror, the frustration, and the inability to even fucking communicate by voice. And you're in that situation. And the day that she died, I woke up to it. Actually, we all did, really, except my brother. My brother was up early doing the morning shift, and it was 10 a.m. in the morning, and she took her last breath. My brother was there for her. He wanted to come and get me, but you know, I understand you can't, in that environment, you can't, you stay with them, you know, you stay with that person, you don't leave them. And I made my peace every night with her, you know. But just to see your my mummy, eh? to see her, you know, get taken from you, it's just fucked. And I miss her so much. I miss her so fucking much. I miss her so much. And every week that goes by, you know, it's hard because, you know, reality just keeps setting in, you know, that's it. It's done. You're not going to see her again, at least not physically, you know, in this world. Everything just feels less. There's less joy with everything. There's something missing all the time. And I just want to say that, you know, my girlfriend Ashley is just so incredible. That the whole time I had to be over there, she was here. She was manning the fort. She was looking after my animals, looking after all of our animals. We have 4 cats. You know, before we got together, I had my 2, Ron and Hermione, and she has her 2. So now we have 4. You know, and she's supported me so well. And I just want to say that. I just want to say thank you to her, Ashley, and thank you to all of you who have been supporting me. You know, even just showing up, even just watching this and listening is showing so much support. And I don't know exactly how I'm just meant to go back to real life, you know. So there are going to be a few changes. I think the first one is just I'm really being personal and opening up, and I think the only way for me to come back into this is to just ease back into it. I'm gonna make a few more like vlog style videos over the next couple of weeks, and it would be great to see all of you there when I upload them. And you know, I just can't help that's it now. Everything now has changed forever. Everything has changed. So I think I'm gonna take it easy, and I'm gonna make some vlogs or something and just go and honor her. And I'm gonna do that in a few ways. One, Mum just loved to have a good time, to go out, have an enjoyable experience, be funny, be goofy. You probably see where I get it from, hopefully. And honor her, and I just want to go and have some fun experiences with my girlfriend, and you know, make some vlogs, and hopefully you guys can stick around. Make sure you've got the notifications on. I'd love to see you, please, in the next videos, and support me. I hate to say this for the first time ever, but I need some support. I really do, and I just need a bit of backing because this is fucked. It's all fucked. Okay, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Hello my darling, it's Mama Bucks here. Just want to congratulate you on your massive achievement, 1 million subscribers. Absolutely enormous. So proud of you, I really am. And as you can see, I'm sitting in your studio where it all began. So here's to the next million. Let's see how quickly you can do that. I'm so looking forward to celebrating with you when you come home. Can't wait to see you. Love you lots, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.